Hello everyone, and welcome to Greyhammer. Today we're going to be doing a faction pack focus for Soulblight Gravelords. As always, we're going to pause on the battle traits, because we've already covered those in a short. You can go check that out on my channel. And battle formation. So you've got Legion of Shaiish. For unending, you can pick an additional target when using the Deathly Invocation ability. Bacchanal of Blood. Add 1 to casting rolls for friendly vampire units that are not in combat, and add 1 to wound rolls for combat attacks made by vampire units that charge in the same turn. Death Stench Drove. Once per turn at the end of any turn, pick up to 3 friendly dead walkers. Make a pile in, then pick an enemy unit in combat and roll d3 on a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the enemy unit equal to the roll. Then the Tide of Bones and Blades. Add 1 to the rend of melee weapons used by friendly death rattle units that charge. That target a unit that has fewer models than the attacking unit. Heroic traits. Lash of the Sire. Pick another friendly Soulblight Gravelords unit within this unit's combat range. Roll a dice on a 2-up. If the target is not in combat, it can move d6. If the target is in combat, you can make a pile-in move. Unbending Will. Pick a friendly Death Rattle or Dead Walker unit that has 2 or more models. Add d6 to the target's control score while they're wholly within 12. And Unhinged Rampager, you can reroll charge rolls. Artifacts of Power. You have once per battle, pick an enemy hero in combat, they get strike last. A passive, ignore modifiers to save rolls positive and negative from shooting attacks. And immune to screams when your opponent declared a spell. For a wizard within 18, roll a d3 on a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the caster equal to the roll. If the target is destroyed, do not resolve the effect of the spell ability. It's pretty powerful artifact. Spell lore. You've got the Lore of Undeath, casting value 7, unlimited. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18, roll a number of dice equal to the number of models in the target unit for each 6. Inflict mortal damage if any enemy models were slain. Heal d3 to the caster. Casting value of 7. Pick a visible enemy unit within 12. They get strike last from Prison of Grief. And then casting value of 7, waste away. Pick a visible enemy unit within 12. For the rest of the turn, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of their melee weapons. That's a really strong one. Alright, so Nagash, same rules as the other factions. Y'all can go ahead and check out my other videos to see his rules in depth, or you can pause it here. Manfred von Karstein, the Sword of Unholy Power. If this unit has slain any enemy models, for the rest of the turn, add 1 to the attacks of Death Rattle and Deadwalker units that are wholly within 12. When you use the redeploy for Soulblight Gravelords wholly within 12, they can move into combat when using the ability. Wind of Death, casting value of 7. Pick a point on the battlefield within 18. Pick up to 3 visible enemy units within 6. Roll a d3 for each target. On a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. And then Ashigareth's Hunger. If this unit charged, roll dice. On a 3-up, they get strike first. And then Prince of Vordry. Slain of Slaughter. Pick a friendly non-monster, a vampire unit that destroyed a unit this turn using a fight ability, and is wholly within 12. Pick one of the following effects to apply for the rest of the battle. Add 2 to the target's move characteristic, add 1 to the attack's characteristic, or add 1 to the damage characteristic. More than one effect can apply, however, each effect can only be applied once. Quick Blood. Casting value is 7. You give him strike first. Snapping Jaws. If this unit's in combat, pick an enemy unit, roll a 4-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. So roll a d6 on a 4-up. Neferata. You've got the Adivore. At the end of any turn, pick an enemy hero that was allocated any damage points by Akhmet Har. Roll a dice on a 5-up, the target's automatically destroyed. That's rude. Twilight Allure. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for combat attacks that target friendly Soulblight Gravelords units while they're wholly within 6 of this unit. More target of blood, deployment phase, pick up to 3 friendly death rattle or Deadwalker's infantry. Each can use a normal move as if it's your movement. Casting value 7 Dark Mist, pick a visible friendly non-monster Soulblight Gravelords unit wholly within 12. Ignore modifiers to save rolls for the target, positive or negative, until the start of your next turn. Pretty powerful spell. Loka Vi, you've got Nightmare's Miasma, subtract 1 from the Rend characteristic of melee weapons used by enemy units while they're in combat. Impaling Talons, if it charged, pick an enemy unit in combat, roll dice if it's equal to or less than the target's health characteristic, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. And the Queen's Dictate. Casting value of 6, pick a visible, friendly, Soulblight Gravelords monster wholly within 12. Pick one of the target's companion melee weapons. Add D3 to the attack's characteristic of that weapon for the rest of the turn. On to Vengorian Lord. Pick a visible, friendly, non-hero Soulblight Gravelords monster that destroyed an enemy unit and is wholly within 12. Heal 6 to the target. Scything Talons. If it charged, pick an enemy. Roll a dice on a 3-up. Roll a dice for each model in the target unit. For each 5-up, inflict mortal damage on the target. And then subtract 1 from red characteristic of melee weapons used by enemy units when they're in combat with this unit. Radikar the Wolf. Call to the Hunt. If this unit charges this turn, for the rest of the turn, add 1 to wound rolls. Sorry, one sec. Sorry. Call to the Hunt. If this unit charges this turn, for the rest of the turn, add 1 to wound rolls for combat attacks made by friendly Death Rattle, Dead Walkers, and Virkos Bloodborne while they're wholly within 12. The Master of the Pack, casting value 6. Until the start of your next turn, you can reroll charge rolls for friendly Soulblight Gravelords infantry while they're wholly within 12. And you've got Radikar the Beast. Call to the Hunt. If this unit charges this turn, for the rest of the turn, add 1 to wound rolls. So same ability. The Beast will out. If this unit is not in combat, it can move D6. It can move into combat at the end of any turn. Armor of the Knight, casting value 6. Subtract 1 from hit rolls and wound rolls for attacks that target this unit. Pretty beat stick character. Ivya Volga. You've got Shrieking Swarm, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target this unit. Behemoth's Bane, subtract 2 from the attacks characteristic of enemy monsters' melee weapons while they're in combat. And Total Dominance, casting value 6. For the rest of the turn, subtract 5 from the control scores of enemy monsters while they're within 12 of this unit. Then you've got Baladama Volga. I really like this model and her abilities. Wolfguard. While this unit is within the combat range of friendly direwolf units, each time, this unit has a ward of 4 up, and then each time you make a successful ward roll for this unit, allocate a damage point to a friendly direwolf unit within this unit's combat range. After the damage sequence for this unit has been resolved, ward rolls cannot be made for those damage points. Casting value 7 under a Killing Moon, pick up to 3 visible friendly direwolves wholly within 18. For the rest of the turn, add 1 to the Rend, and they ignore the effects of the Beast ability. Then first of the Virkos, add 3 to the control scores of friendly Radikar the Wolf, Radikar the Beast, Ivya Volga, Lady Anika, Kritza, Virkos Bloodborne, and Vargskir units while they're wholly within 18 of this unit. On to Gorslav the Gravekeeper, Keeper of the Corpse Garden. While this unit is within the combat range of a friendly Deadwalker Zombies unit, this ward unit has a ward of 4 up. Basically the same ability, it's just on Deadwalker Zombies instead of Direwolves. And then Arise, pick up 3 friendly Deadwalker Zombies wholly within 12. Roll a d3 for each target on a 2-up. Return up to a number of slain models on the target equal to the roll. Then you've got Torgilius the Chamberlain. Trusted Lieutenant. This unit can use the Deathly Invocation ability even if a different friendly unit has already used it this turn. And Failing Fortune, casting value 6. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18. And until the start of your next turn, subtract 1 from the wound rolls for that target's attacks. Virkos Bloodborne. While each model in this unit is within an inch of any terrain features, this unit cannot be targeted by shooting attacks unless the attacking model's within 9 inches of it. And then roll a dice on a 3-up. You can use a move as if it's your movement phase at the end of any turn. So, pretty fast unit. Watch Captain Halgrim. Pick a friendly death rattle skeletons. When you pick this guy to fight, they can fight after him. Um, each time you make a run roll for a friendly death rattle skeletons unit holier than 12, you can change the roll to a 4. It gives you a little bit more versatility there. Varg Skier, add 1 to the number of dice when making charge rolls to a maximum of 3. When it uses charge, it can pass over things as if it has fly, and that's a beast. Kasargi Nightguard, a pact maintained while a friendly Radikar the Beast or Radikar the Wolf is within the unit's combat range. Both this unit and that unit have a ward of 5 up, so it gives you some more tanky. Lady Anika, supernatural speed. Pick this unit if it's not been deployed. Set it up lying in wait. You can set it up wholly within enemy territory, more than 9 from all enemy units. And then Kiss of the Blade Proboskian. At the end of any turn, pick an enemy unit that was allocated any damage points inflicted by its combat attacks. Roll a dice on a 2-up, subtract 1 from save rolls from the target for the rest of the battle. And then Karitsa, you've got Scurrying Retreat. If this unit's in combat, roll a dice on a 2-up. They can immediately use the retreat as if it was your movement phase without any mortal damage being inflicted on it. And then the Verminous Court, pick an enemy unit in combat, then pick an artifact of power the target has. On 3-up, the target no longer has the artifact of power, so pretty strong. Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, that which should not be. If this unit charges this turn for the rest of the turn, subtract 1 from the control scores of enemy units while they're in combat. And then Bloodthirsty Dominance, once per turn at the end of any turn. If it charged, pick an enemy unit in combat. Roll the number of dice equal to the target's health characteristic. For each 6, inflict a mortal damage on the target. Vampire Lord, Sanguine Blur. Roll a dice on a 3-up. Remove this unit from the battlefield and set up again on the battlefield more than 9 from all enemy non-hero units and more than 3 from all enemy heroes. So pretty good at getting closer to enemy heroes. Then you've got Kato Ezekiel, the Hollow King. Retribution or Salvation, cast Cry of Seth and pick a visible unit within 12. The target's an enemy unit, inflict D3 mortal damage. If it's friendly, Death Rattle or Deadwalker, subtract 1 from wound rolls for combat attacks that target that unit. The Court of the Lost, roll a dice. On a 2-up, pick one of the following effects to apply until the start of your next turn. This unit has a move of 12. Add 1 to casting, unbinding, and banishment rolls for this unit, or it gets crit mortals, which is pretty spicy. Scourgeon True Blades, Creed of the Scourge Renkai. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for combat attacks made by enemy monsters that target this unit. Add 1 to hit rolls for combat attacks made by this unit that target enemy monsters. Gut Wrenching Howl. Pick an enemy unit in combat with this unit's Curse Blood. Roll a dice on a 4-up. The target has Strike Blast. All right. Then you've got Blood Knights. When this unit moves, it can pass through models and enemy infantry units and can pass through the combat ranges of enemy infantry units, but cannot end in combat. And when it charges, you roll a d3 on a 2-up and inflict an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. Then you've got Vargeist, Death's Descent. If this unit is not in combat, remove it from the battlefield and set it up again on the battlefield more than 9 from all enemy units. So really nice redeploy with your Vargeist. Bloodseeker Palanquin. Subtract 3 from control scores of enemy units while they're wholly within 12. And pick up to 3 friendly vampire units wholly within 12. Add 1 to the attacks of their melee weapons for the rest of the turn. And that's a once per battle ability. Mortis Engine, Nexus of Death Energy. When a friendly Death Rattle or Dead Walkers unit wholly within 12, Pick to be the target of the Deathly Invocation unit ability. Add D3 to the number of damage points that can be healed or the combined health tiers of models that can be returned. Passive the Reliquary. When this unit is set up for the first time, place a stored energy dice beside it with the one facing up. Each time a friendly Soulblight Gravelords wizard successfully casts a spell while it's within 12, increase the value by 1 to a max of 6. And in your shooting phase, you can pick up to 3 enemy units within 10, roll a dice for each target on a 3-up, inflict minimal damage on the target equal to the stored energy. Bring the stored energy back to 1. So that's pretty powerful. Does some mortal damage. The Coven Throne, friendly Death Rattle and Dead Walker units have a ward of 5-up, holier than 6. And if a friendly Soulblight Gravelords unit wholly within 12 uses the redeploy, you can pick another friendly Soulblight Gravelords unit wholly within 12, but it's not used to command this phase to use the redeploy. No command point is spent the second time it's used. So it helps you move a little faster or retreat a little bit better. Zombie Dragon, you can set it up at the battlefield and then bring them back more than 9 from enemy units. And Armor Crunch. If this unit charges this turn, pick an enemy cavalry or monster in combat. Roll dice. If it's equal to or exceeds the target's save characteristic, inflict 3 mortal damage to the target. So the likes to go into Armored Foes. Terrorgeist. Sonic Assault. If this unit charges this turn, pick an enemy unit in combat. Roll dice for each model in the target unit. If 3 or more dice have the same value, this unit has strike first. If 6 or more, then this unit has strike first, and the target can't use commands. Then each time, Fanged Maul basically has crit mortal, except it's just assuming it's automatically 6 mortal damage. A White King, Ancient Strategies. When you declare a fight, you pick a non-hero Death Rattle unit. You can fight afterwards. Add 1 to the hit rolls for its attacks. White King on Skeletal Steed. Add 1 to the charge rolls of friendly Death Rattle cavalry units while they're wholly within 12. And you can pick a non-hero Death Rattle cavalry that has not used a fight. When you pick this guy to fight, they can fight immediately afterwards. They don't get a buff to it, though. Black Knights, you're kind of light cavalry. This unit charged this turn. Its barrel lances have crit mortal for the rest of the turn. Graveguard, while any friendly Soulblight Gravelords infantry heroes are within this unit's combat range, both this unit and the friendly unit have a ward of 5-up. Pretty simple. Necromancer, undead minions, while this unit is within the combat range of friendly Death Rattle or Dead Walkers units, it gets a ward of 4-up. Every time it makes a successful ward roll, inflict a damage point to the Death Rattle or Dead Walkers unit. Valhal's Dance Macabre. Pick a friendly Death Rattle or Dead Walkers unit wholly within 12. Roll dice. On a 3-up, the target can use 2 fight abilities. After the fight first is used, the target has strike last for the rest of the turn. That could be really powerful. So I'm really considering this as an army as well. It's between this and Slaves to Darkness. And going a direwolf heavy army that can fight twice is pretty strong. Melee weapons used by other friendly Deadwalkers units have crit auto wound while they're wholly within 12. And then the direwolves, 2 health apiece, and they come in units of 10. They can run and still charge, and they have a max control of 1. So they're fast, can do some decent attacks. So I'm interested. I'm interested for sure. Deadwalkers zombies. Each time a model in this unit is slain by a combat attack and that model was in combat with the attacking unit, roll dice on a 6-up, inflict a mortal damage after the fight ability has been resolved. Then you've got Fell Bats. This unit can charge even if it used to retreat. No damage is inflicted upon retreat abilities. It's a beast. Death Rattle Skeletons. You can return D3 slain models to this unit at the end of any turn. Then Sakar. The Time Solar Maul, pick an enemy unit in combat. This unit cannot use Serpentine Agility ability for the rest of the battle. Roll 2d6 for each target. And then if the roll exceeds the target's move characteristic, it inflicts an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the difference between the roll and the move. And then if the unmodified hit roll for an attack that targets this unit is a 1 to 4, the attack sequence fails. The attack sequence ends. It's a really strong ability. Death's Construction, pick a visible enemy unit within 12, casting value 7, till the start of your next turn. This unit and any friendly Soulblight Gravelords units, while they are holding than 6, cannot be picked to be the target of abilities used by the target other than the fight ability. 1 second, my dog needs to be let in. Alright, and then the Spearhead, the Bloodcrave Hunt. You've got the Vampire Lord, 2 units of 10 Death Rattle Skeletons, 5 Blood Knights, 3 Vargeist. So your Vargeist are not set up in the deployment. On the third battle round, they can set up anywhere on the battlefield more than 6 from enemy units. The Vampire gets to heal Endless Legions or Ruinous Chargers. Endless Legions is you pick a friendly Death Rattle Skeletons unit that's been destroyed. You can set up a replacement unit with a d6 plus 4 models anywhere on the battlefield more than 6 from all enemy units. Ruinous Chargers, or you could pick your Blood Knights. That was once for battle. Pick your Blood Knights units to use this ability if it charged, and put d3 mortal damage on each enemy unit it passed across during the charge. The Endless Legions is pretty strong. Once per battle, when you declare the Skeleton Legion ability for a unit within 9, you add 1 to each Legion roll made for that unit. Aura of the Night, ignore negative modifiers to save rolls for shooting attacks that target your general. Cloud of Bats, remove your general from the battlefield, set them up again on the battlefield more than 6 from all enemy units. So once per battle. Or Spirit Gale on the 7-up, 2d6 inflict mortal damage to each enemy unit on the battlefield. Spirit Gale is honestly pretty decent. Or Aura of the Night. Or Cloud of Bats. Vampire Lord. Vial Transference. Cast and roll on a 6-up, roll a number of dice equal to the target's health characteristic for each 5-up, inflict a mortal damage on the target and heal 1 to this unit. Blood Knights, models in this unit can pass across infantry models as if this unit had fly, so it does not do damage on the charge like they usually would, so that other ability might be more useful. Vargeist, the Scent of Gore, add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made by this unit that target a damaged unit. And then Death Rattle Skeletons. For each slain model from this unit in any combat phase, make a Legion roll of d6 for each 5-up. Return a slain model to this unit. So I think the other ability makes it on a 4-up once per battle to bring back more guys. Is that correct? Let me see. Yes. All in all, I think the Spearhead's going to be pretty survivable, maybe. You can definitely burst down the Death Rattle Skeletons, but if you don't, they can keep coming back pretty easily. Lots of healing, as you'd expect with the death. Lots of support characters. Some really cool combos I think you can do with this army. Using Dire Wolves, because I think Dire Wolves are really strong. At least for Beast, for their points values, they're good. I love the models of like the dire wolves, the zombies, the skeletons. I'd like to collect this army. So let me know in the comments if I should. Let me know what your favorite models are in this faction. And let me know what you're most excited about with other stuff as well. But please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.